Hey, what's up YouTube? This is 247, and I kind of wanted to do something a little different. As you guys have seen, like from like my past content, I don't usually post like anything really meta related, and I don't really care too much. I don't really concern myself too much with the competitive scene. I do talk about them at times. I do keep them in mind when I like talk about my budget deck videos or whatever, or things of that manner. But I kind of wanted to do something a little different, just kind of get away from the competitive scene altogether and just talk about like decks that are just straight up just for fun. Obviously these decks are all really cheap. I don't really like, I'm sure like most of you guys, I don't really like to spend a whole lot of money, and this is one deck that I built like a long time ago, and I've seen other people played it too, and it's a really fun deck. It does have some consistency issues, but man, once you get your engine going, your opponent is just like gonna be stunned. Like they're not even gonna want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! The duels are really slow with this deck, which is like kind of annoying because I know a lot of people just want to go in like super fast. If you want a really fast deck, this is the deck for you. But if you like to grind it out and whatnot, I mean, this deck does kick some serious ass. So I'll get started on the deck profile and talk about why certain cards need to be ran here, etc., etc. And yeah, so starting off with the spell cards, of course, triple Jamboree Machine. This is the key card that pretty much sets up everything else. This is the card that, if you guys don't know what this does, during each standby phase, you special summon a slime token. Aqua, water level 1, attack and defense are 500. It does have to be summoned in an attack position though, which is kind of lame. And you can't summon any other monsters except for slime tokens. 3 wetlands. Now you'll understand why this card's so important. So if you guys don't know what this does, all aqua type, water type with 2 or lower monsters gain 1200 attack. So instant 1200 attack beef. So this thing, instead of spamming out 500 attack beaters, it spams out 1700 attack beaters. Alright. The terraforming, let's search it out. Just deck thinning. 2 dualities. This deck does have consistency issues. 1 gold sark. Obviously to search this out. Don't really. There's other targets for it, which I'll get into. But most of the time you just want to search out the Jamboree Machine. 1 day of peace kind of gives you an extra turn. This is a slower, weaker deck, so that extra turn does make a difference. 1 D-Fissure, because a lot of decks you need the graveyard. You don't use the graveyard whatsoever, so you don't really care. And double Space Typhoon, because Vanities hurts this deck a lot. So there's no other floodgate that really hurts outside of Vanities. Like the only thing you really want to get rid of is Vanities. Traps, and you run a lot of traps in this deck. You just need to. Triple Token Stampede. Now if you guys don't know what this card does, this card basically says all attack position tokens gain 1000 attack. Okay, so you're seeing the combo already. This, along with that and that, gets your token to 2700. Well, if you just have one of them, of course. I've had times where I've had 2 of them and they're 3700. Sometimes all 3 and they're 4700, which is like ridiculous. But they also can't be destroyed by battle, which is like an extra boost. So they try to if you attack and they like Crane or Honest or Kalut or any of that bullshit, your token's still going to be alive. So it's not considered relevant. And even if it didn't have the restriction, you could just summon another one on the next turn. So it doesn't really matter. Triple Reckless Greed. Again, going back to the whole consistency issue thing. Double Skill Drain. You don't really use effects here whatsoever. So the skill drains do absolutely nothing to you, but they do everything to your opponent. And you can get some pretty nasty combos off with Defizz and Skill Drain, or this card in Skill Drain. I'll talk about this card later. Double Bribe, you want to protect your Jamboree Machine. Simple as that. Triple Deep Prison and triple Mirror Force. Now you're wondering, why the fuck are you running Battle Traps? Battle Traps are so bad, blah blah. You need the stall, guys. That's as simple as that. Sometimes you desperately need to Reckless and you need a stall. You want to make sure you have your stall cards. Bottomless, Compulse, just like really standard trap cards. Macro, okay, this card right here, you don't care because you don't really care about the graveyard whatsoever. The graveyard's pretty much irrelevant because once you lose these, you lose them forever. So why not just have everything banished instead? It doesn't matter. You're not hurt by it at all, but your opponent gets destroyed, absolutely. And if you get the macro skill drain lock, it's like, oh, it's very dirty. Double Hope for Escape. And if you're wondering why the hell I'm running this, it's because I'm running cards like Skill Drain, and do I have any other? No, it's just Skill Drain. But pretty much you are going to take some hits to the face, so the hope for escapes, why not get some draws off of those hits, you know. Again, going back to that whole consistency issue thing. And then for the monsters, 2 Beast King Barbaros. Sometimes I don't draw a Jamboree Machine. Actually, more than half the time I don't draw a Jamboree Machine. So this is another win condition. Beast King Barbaros with like macro, skill drain, GG. And then, ooh, sorry about that. And then triple Swift Scarecrow for, again, just for stall. Pretty much. So, so that's pretty much the main deck in a nutshell. Basically, this is pretty much your win condition. Like, well, not just this alone. I mean, that combo is like really dirty, but in synergy with cards like Skill Drain and Macro, it's GG. Like, Heavy Storm is banned, so good luck getting past that combo. That's all I gotta say. Onto the extra deck. Now, the main deck is really cheap, but the extra deck is gonna cost a pretty penny, because like there's some cards that you do really need to run. Actually, all the cards are very essential key cards for combos that you do in the deck, which I'll explain to once I get to them. But the extra deck is really expensive. The main deck is budget friendly, but the extra deck is going to cost you a pretty penny. So you need to run double Dante. The thing with Dante is he thins out your deck by 3. And if you mill a Jamboree Machine and Dante gets destroyed, you get to add the Jamboree Machine back, because this is a Burning Abyss card, in case you guys didn't know. And Dante does have that effect where he can add Burning Abyss card back, because if you guys haven't read, this is like little text right here, and I know you guys think, oh, that's for spell. No, it's for Burning Abyss. So Jamboree Machine of the Burning Abyss is basically the actual name of this card. Konami just neglected to tell us. The other day I was doing on DevPro, and I summoned this guy, and I actually added it back, so DevPro confirmed. Lavalva Chain, you want to dump the Jamboree Machine, and then you want to make Dante to add it back. It's basically your searcher. Daigusto, basically you wanna special summon your tokens that clearly go to grave off of the Daigusto. Deltros, absolutely amazing. You know, you pop cards and then you special summon Saturnites once this guy get popped. The Saturnites that I clearly play in here. And then Trevor, you know, sometimes like I bounce back, you know, my Jamboree Machines, and then I activate them and I summon even more tokens to get even more field presence. It's absolutely amazing. Felgrand, you'll see why I play Felgrand. I know I don't really play any level 8 outside of the Beast King Barbaros, but in the extra deck I do play quite a few. So, double Winda in synergy with Macro Cosmos and Skill Drain. Absolutely amazing. Not only can your opponent not activate effects, but they can only special summon once per turn, and their stuff gets banished. I mean, you know, Winda, you know, if there's no grave, she doesn't get her effect to add back a Shaddoll Fusion. But man, the stun you can create on your opponent is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it makes up for the fact that you don't get to recycle. Triple Construct, that Catastrophe effect, absolutely amazing. Like, Triple Construct's just staple. And, you know, Construct in synergy with Beast King Barbaros does get you a Felgrand play. And Felgrand, along with Jamboree Machine and then the Skill Drain and the Macro, just dirty plays. This guy, because he can't be targeted, absolutely amazing. And then Leo, because, you know, Leo is a cool dude. You just have to play the Leo. Like, no matter what deck you're playing, even if you're playing Saturnites, you always want to play Leo, because you can make Leo and your opponent just scoops it up, because if you make him late game, there is no answer to Leo. And that's pretty much the deck profile, guys. In the comment section below, feel free to leave your thoughts on this deck. Have you guys tried it out or whatever? And tell me what you guys think. And, you know, this is Exodius247 signing out.